Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here with a very special video review today. I'm here to give you my official review for Dexter the series. Now, before all the questions get brought up, why would I do such a thing so late in the game, considering that Dexter ended its run several years ago? Well, that's mostly due to the fact, for those of you who don't know, today, October 1st, 2016, marks the 10th anniversary of Dexter the series. Yes, today was the first ever airing of the first episode of Season 1 of Dexter. And I decided before the anniversary, of course, I thought it would be an interesting and fun idea to do Dexter reviews up until the anniversary release. However, I decided it would have been a little too daunting and very incredibly time-consuming to dedicate reviews to every single episode, or more or less every single season that has come out from Dexter's lineup, and I decided just for the anniversary itself, just to dedicate a video review to every single season, specifically the series as a whole. So that's what I'm basically doing here, and also, this video review of Dexter the series will be the first part in a series of video reviews I'll be posting the month of October, which will be kind of like my, I guess you can say, recommendations to any viewers or subscribers of mine out there who are interested on TV shows that they should be watching this Halloween season, specifically in the genres of mystery, crime, horror, and possibly comedy. So overall, that's pretty much what I'm going to be talking about, and I'll get into that in the later half of this review slash video, but let's get into the world of Dexter. Yes, Dexter turns 10 years old, and let's talk about it. Now, overall, Dexter was featured on the TV network Showtime, and was based on novels by Jeff Lindsay, and stars Michael C. Hall as the main protagonist slash antagonist, and of course, Jennifer Carpenter, Julie Benz, David Zayas, C.S. Lee, and James Remar. And overall, is set in Miami and stars the character of Dexter Morgan, who's by day a blood splatter analyzer slash forensic scientist, and by night, vigilante sociopathic psycho killer. At the end of the day, I was never a really huge fan of Dexter. I really got into it late in the game, and I really decided to go back and just watch the series a couple years back. Seeing as how it's already over, it would be an interesting thing just to go and binge watch this show that so many people loved, so many horror icons I appreciated, who are really interested in this so-called show about a slasher killer who is obsessed with blood. And overall, I fell in love with the series. Yes, like most TV shows that have a very extensive run, there are off-seasons that are not really as good as other seasons, but as a whole, Dexter the series was magnificent to watch. It was awesome just to see Dexter Morgan go to work as a blood splatter forensic scientist slash vigilante, and it was really interesting to see his origins of how he came to be, and of course how he continued to be all throughout his run in the entire series. And I feel like one of the best things that the show did was give the show a narration. There has always been, and there continues to be to this day, very much TV shows, great TV shows I might add, dedicated to whether or not it's crime, horror, or any other dramatic show that has an antagonist as the hero, or I should say anti-hero of the show. And Dexter Morgan, I think the one thing that really separates him from other anti-hero slash antagonists and or protagonists of a TV series is the fact that unlike a Nucky Thompson or a Walter White or Tony Soprano, he really has something that they don't have, which is a narration. He has an inside voice. We get to listen in as he continues to go through his trials and tribulations and his retributions all throughout the series of Dexter. And as a whole, I've always really enjoyed that. I think that was the one thing that really separated from other TV shows and making it a little bit more classier and making it, I guess you could say, not really classy, but more or less a classic apart from the other TV shows. Seeing as how he's kind of the first anti-hero of his kind. Dexter Morgan is a serial killer slasher slash vigilante, no pun intended, for the ages. Now, let me start off with my positives. Now, overall, my positives has to deal with the actual cast themselves, because I can really get the feeling that when it comes to a story standpoint, the show gets very repetitive and then starts to get really redundant, seeing as how every single season is dedicated to the same specific traits, which is Dexter, his internal conflicts, whether or not he wants to be normal, his daily job, his nightly job, and of course him taking out the main villain, and overall continuing to kill while having his family. It's kind of like a show that's dedicated to a villain who gets to have his cake and eat it too. That's pretty much what Dexter is. However, the cast destroys it. Michael C. Hall is the perfect cast for this role. He destroyed as Dexter, and he continued to really give that character more weight than I think even the writing page didn't really give him. He's so magnificent to watch. He is the perfect specimen of a character TV guide, if you will, that ever was born. Also, Jennifer Carpenter, her character as Deborah Morgan, killed it. She has the most motivation, she has the most trials, she has the most character arc. She is the perfect character within this series, and everyone else is awesome. The supporting cast is very strong, and every single character continues to hold their weight in the counterbalance of the epicness that is Dexter and his drive to kill criminals of Miami. And that's also a real big positive, seeing as how I'm a Florida resident, born and raised. I always like the idea of a serial killer slash TV show dedicated to Miami, even though when you look closely, it's not really Miami, it's California, but I'm going to sweep that under the rug and just say, hey, Miami kinda. So it is what it is. Overall, I really enjoyed the series. It was really awesome. The cast was amazing, and the show itself just had an amazing run. Now overall with the story, season 1, seeing as how it is the 10th anniversary of the first episode and season, I feel like hands down is my favorite season next to season 2. Season 1 really dedicates time to Dexter's origin, how he came to be, his code of ethics, and how he's developing a family routine that he may or may not really be keen towards. And I feel like a lot has to go once again back to the writing and the cast themselves. Michael C. Hall and Julie Benz worked perfect against each other. They were amazing personalities and chemistry when they were on screen together, that it was so wonderful to see those characters flourish and develop over the course of the 4 seasons we got with Julie Benz. But with that being said, overall the show was really good at telling us a story. The show was good at giving us an anti-hero that we can really get behind and really think in terms of if a character had such great morals that he can, I guess a moral code and ethics, that could we really follow behind him? Could we really understand the motives of a killer if he's doing the right thing at the end of the day? And I think that's the really good message and interesting point of view that the show gives us. Also, the cast. The cast is great. The story was great. The great tread is what I just mentioned, the morals and motivations of the killer and protagonist were following, the anti-hero, if you will. But of course, the story point of family. The family motives is always there throughout the entire run of the series, and it's one of the most, I guess, most appreciated that I love about the show, and something that's very relatable. The show is relatable in the sense that Dexter really understands that family really means more than what he does. He truly loves getting people on that table. He wants to strap them down, kill them, show them what they did wrong, and then kill them, steal their blood, all the great stuff that we love seeing Dexter do, but family really means something. And that's the great thing what the writers were capable of doing. Really giving us a character that was really maybe too smart for his own good and capable of great things if the job, perspective, and everything else in between presented itself. But moving off of my major positives, let me get into certain negatives I had over the show of Dexter. Dexter, the series, was a phenomenal series. It lasted for 8 seasons, and usually with shows that have longevity like Dexter, really have a hard time with being consistent. Consistency is a major problem, and quality is also a major problem with long-running shows. And that really has a lot to do with the fact that the writers were really incapable of A, creating a major threat and villain for Dexter to handle, and of course B, giving us a good outcome slash finale to the character of Dexter Morgan. Now in the end, the character does end up losing it all, but overall it's more out of choice rather than outside forces really causing him to lose everything. Everything that Dexter thrives on and continues to fight for and kill, obviously, is for his family. His code is really broken when it comes to what he truly loves in this world, whether it's his sister, his love in life, his children. It really has a lot to do with that. This fake life that he's built for himself that he truly loves now. And the thing that always bothered me about the show was the characters and capability, or at least the writers and capability of giving this creative, amazing character a way out. They were good at opening doors but not closing them, I think is the best way I can put it. And a good example of this has a lot to do with the villains that they chose to go up against the character Dexter Morgan, and also the characters of Deborah Morgan and Maria LaGreta. Now, these two specific characters were really good because they played off against each other very well in their character developments over the course of the series, but of course, when they ended off in their finale moments in Season 7 and Season 8. All throughout Season 1 to 4 is all about the battle for family. All about the battle towards the main villains. But once you reach Season 5 and go forward, it's all about realizing the true threat, which is Dexter discovering his identity and what to do with it. In Breaking Bad, when people discover who Walter White really is, everything comes down. Shit hits the fan in a major way, and everyone is on their own. In Dexter, everything really fits into place and continues to be the same. It's like he's never really capable of sacrificing because he's too good at what he does, and everyone is capable, or at least wanting to be capable, of sticking to this one specific lifestyle that they develop for themselves. And that goes back to the writer's problem of never giving the character a way out. Deborah deals with a lot throughout the series, which is why she's so good. She's so creative, she's so developed, she's so amazingly performed by Jennifer Carpenter, yet her character deals with specific things that the creators are incapable of closing out perfectly, which is her relationship with Dexter, what she's willing to do for Dexter, how she's going to go throughout that, and how she's going to deal with that on a personal level, and how she may or may not really feel about Dexter that she might not actually feel comfortable saying out loud in front of him, and how she's going to react to people who are going to destroy her life, and how she might even destroy her own life protecting the secret that Dexter's developed for himself and his father, played by James Remar. And overall, I love the character Deborah, I love the character Dexter, but the way they ended off their characters was very poorly done. And the same thing goes for the character LaGreta. She was a perfect character that stood by Dexter, that stood by Deborah, even through their own specific deals and battles against each other. However, when it came right down to it, to truly discovering the secret, to truly finding out who is the true Bay Harbor Butcher, which is, I guess you can say, the main villain title that they give Dexter in Miami, in the world of Dexter, it just never ended off well because you gave the secret to both Deborah and her, and you gave the characters a choice, which is they had to choose each other or choose Dexter, and you gave that choice to Deborah, and you were incapable of really doing something cool and interesting about the series, which is her choosing over Dexter. And that's the thing that bothered me about the series moving forward, especially with the finale season. With every single season that went by, even the amazing ones, Dexter was too good. He was too cool for school. He was really good at accomplishing his goals. He was really good at killing his prey. And he was really good at faking everyone around him, even the people he truly loved, in his own personal way, I guess you can say. But the thing that bothered me is that he was too good. Dexter is not Walter White. And I know the comparisons do get tossed around when it comes to Breaking Bad and Dexter, but when it comes to the finale seasons of both series, I think where Breaking Bad does perfectly is that these are two characters that are really good at what they do. And when they're pushed against a corner in really big bad way, seeing them get out of it is awesome. But in the sense of where Walter White gets pushed against the corner, seeing him get through it is awesome, but seeing the collateral damage and the destruction he does over his loved ones is the more passionate and interesting aspect of what that series was. but when it came to Dexter, it just really wasn't there. And that's the major folly, and I guess my major problem that I had with Dexter all throughout the series, especially with its finale seasons. At least for me, when it came to moving from season 5 to season 8. But with that being said and done, overall I love the series. The series was really good. I feel like if you're a newcomer to Dexter, the series, I definitely would say it's okay to marathon the entire series. There's nothing wrong with binge watching hardcore TV shows. But when it comes to a legitimate fan's, I guess, recommendation, I definitely would say the first 4 seasons are magnificent. Some of the best writing, some of the best characters introduced, and obviously killed off. But once you reach the John Lithgow season, which is season 4, that's where you really need to come to a screeching halt and really decide, am I really willing to go forward with this? Yes, there's some cool, interesting things moving forward, like the Colin Hanks stuff and Deborah discovering the secret and what happens between the two characters moving forward into the finale, but it just really isn't worth it as much as the characters really played it off as. But with that being said and done, overall, if I had to judge the final verdict, at least for the first 4 seasons, I would say it's a masterful work. I say it's definitely the best seasons, and the seasons you should definitely check out this Halloween season. However, I would give them a 9.5 out of 10. Perfect seasons, perfect additions to the series, amazing openings, amazing finales, awesome characters, and amazing development and arcs for the major characters. However, moving on to seasons 5 to 8, it really takes a downfall, and I would give it more or less a 6 out of 10. And if I had to combine both ratings, the overall series as a whole, my final verdict for Dexter is a solid 8 out of 10. Dexter, the series, is definitely worth watching. It's definitely worth binging, and if you haven't done so, it's definitely from this YouTuber to another and / viewer recommendation for this Halloween season of 2016, a TV show you should definitely watch. There's a lot of blood, guts, murder, psychopaths, a lot of sex, a lot of violence, a lot of really cool, gritty things that you should definitely check out this Halloween season that I'm sure all of you can enjoy. The performances were great. The characters were great. Michael C. Hall and Jennifer Carpenter relish in the amazingness that is this world of Dexter, and the visuals / story arcs and villains that we got to see along the way were very cool and interesting. Just really amazing touches to really get into the world and mindset of a true serial killer. And James Remar, he's always phenomenal in everything he's in, at least in my opinion, and I really enjoyed him as the father, even though it would have been nice to see him more in real time. But overall, that's been my personal thoughts on Dexter's series. I hope everything wasn't as discombobulated as I'm pretty sure it was, but then again, I am reviewing 8 seasons into one video, so there's a lot of compression that's going on that I hope everyone can understand where I'm coming from. But overall, with that being said and done, let me get into my little updates and then, of course, my shameless plugs. Now that I've given you my official review for Dexter the series, the 10th anniversary review is officially out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And comment below and let me know what you personally thought about Dexter, and if you haven't watched it, have you checked it out since my review? Let me know in the comment section below if it was a good recommendation from me to you. And of course, with that being said and done, for I guess I could say maybe every single Saturday, I don't know if that's officially a planned thing, but more than likely every single Saturday within the month of October of 2016, I'll be putting out an official review for a specific series, once again dedicated in the genres of mystery, crime, drama, horror, and or comedy. And of course, after Dexter, I'll be checking into the world of Stranger Things, giving you my review on that. Moving off of that, I'll be talking all things American Horror Story Murder House, and then I guess ending it off within True Blood. I don't know what the last review I might end up doing. I might shoot off some other TV shows, maybe some solo movies in here, inserted here and there, and possibly American Horror Story Asylum, but for the most part, TV shows I have planned for the month of October, at least in 2016, I have some reviews for, of course, Stranger Things, True Blood, and American Horror Story Murder House. Hopefully you enjoyed and you check out those reviews in the following weeks within the month of October of 2016. Shameless plug time! Follow me on Instagram at Josh12, subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Josh12.